Okay. Okay, so hi everyone. I just welcome every participant who have joined. This is the last session of the series that we are doing from the past week. And in today's session, we will be discussing some of the career opportunities that are available in the voice technology. And this is a booming domain in the recent time. So many people can just opt for this particular thing also if they're looking for some jobs or something like that. So this is basically today we are having certain agendas, and first of all we will discuss that what are various tech roles involving in voice technology, like what exactly you will be working if you choose to work opt for a job in particular company, and what skills you require, and what companies are working on voice technology. There are many companies who are researching, and alongside they're also developing their products. So they usually look for some developers who can just work on some products. So there are many companies, and we will discuss about them. So moving ahead is that first the big question comes here that if your business needs a VOA app or platform or not. So this is one of the thing that whenever a new technology comes out, so many people ask this question whether this technology is required in my business or not. When the internet era started, like 1 or 2 decades ago, so many people just ask that whether they need a website for their business or not. And in that time, like it was a big question, because the technology was new. They were not very much secure about that if investing in any web application will certainly increase the advantages for the business or not. So but in recent times, this question is not up to the relativity. Like this is not very relative, because every business now requires a website or a web application, because they need to be present, have a presence in the online zone. So every business is having a website, and they are more focused on developing applications that they can market on the internet. But now this voice technology has emerged in the recent times, and again this is the same question, but the technology is just replaced. That does the businesses need VOA application platform or not? So currently, this is again the similar scenario that happened decades ago, and many businesses are opting for voice technology to increase their the engagement with the customers. They can easily engage with their customers. They can increase the number of leads, and they can manage the time and efforts that usually they have to spend if they are using any normal chat system. So voice technology has emerged, and it is really great to see many companies opting for this. Like there are several companies and startups that they use voice technology to build support system, chat system, and even they are developing uh, like services from this particular technology. So what are various tech roles? Like there are many companies, and they're also hiring. They need some developers who can specifically design any product. So these are the some roles, eminent roles that are currently you can just find on the internet, right? So the first is the conversationalist, right? So the conversation designer is a person who basically thinks about how what aspects, what elements will be there in the particular application. They are the people who do the customer journey mapping. They develop each in particular, like they develop the lexics, and they develop like what regional of about the regional language. Like if any company is extending its sales in particular region, so these are the people that will design the product accordingly, like so that they can interact with the local people of that particular region. So in India, for example, if you're extending your business in Mumbai or in Rajasthan, so you need a particular language support for that particular for the application. So these are the people who design this uh, conversations. And the next is the speech engineer, which is a technical role, more in the coding side. So these are the people who will just handle all the development, and they are the people who usually deals with the natural language processing, right? Then is the product designer. Product designers have a similar kind of work. Basically, they design their voice products, and overall, like the overall, you can say architecture, the running, and how the users are engaging with them. Any problems arises, they are the people who takes the feedback from the users and then revamp their products. So these are some product. These are the people, and then is the voice developer. Speech scientist also there, which has a similar kind of role, but it's more of a research based job. And speech engine recognition, basically, it's more like when you are particularly focused on the recognition part. If you are developing a multimodal application, then if you are just focusing on the recognition part of any particular segment of your business, then you will need engineers who are very well versed in speech recognition. So these are some of the relevant jobs in particular field. They might not be with the same the job name that I have mentioned, but the work is like similar to what they are currently in the market, right? So these are the most popular jobs that are currently present on the internet, and many companies are hiring for this. And then there is the skill specific jobs, because the top companies like Google and Amazon, they have different products, and for that particular product they need some people who are well versed in that particular skill. So you can also learn that skill and apply in those companies to get these kind of jobs, right? So these are various tech roles, and the major part here is that if you are looking to join any company, what exactly what skills you should acquire before that, right? So we'll talk about this in this part. First, you need a programming efficiency. Whether if you are just looking for more towards a developer side, you are looking towards a developing side or engineering side, then you need to be efficient in any one language, which preferably is Python or JavaScript. And there are many concepts that you can go through related to natural language processing and applied speech technology if you are particularly for engineering part. And then you also need to learn about some of the tools and integration that are available, that if any error occurs, then you know how to handle handle that thing, right? And also you should be able to test your product at different breakpoints, so that the voice application and the platform, it never crashes when the company launches. And also when the platform scales to many different users, then you have to be very proficient in handling that particular part. So these are some of the skills that you need to master. But if you're particularly focused on design part, then you should be well versed with the user interface and experience designing. So that skill might require some of the programming skill, but not necessarily. So you can look for that. If you need to go in designing domain, you can learn the UI UX skills. And if you wanted to go towards a more developer side, you need to have like efficiency in programming language, right? So these are some skills. And additional skills, if you are particularly looking in the voice user interface domain, then these are the 7 skill set that you need to excel, because these are in demand, and this is the basics of the development of a voice product, right? So I have discussed all of these things in the past sessions of the series. The personas that I've already told is the characteristic that you define of any application, like how the pitch is, how the sound is. And you also define particular elements, like is there any pause in the sentences, and how you have to the rate of the speech. So there are many things that defines a persona of a voice. And user stories, basically I have always focused on customer journey mapping. Basically, before you develop any product, you need to understand that what exactly will be the story of your product, like from where you will start, what would be the end of your particular product, what service you are going to serve at the end, and what is the ultimate goal. So you need to have a clear visualization of the user story, and that is usually constructed with the perspective of what the user might need. So these are some of the attributes that you have to be careful. And then you have the user flows for voice, that if any user is of any different regional language, So what exactly would be his flow? Because I have already told that some of the words might mean differently in different regions. So you need to have a particular different flow for them. And the next is the context and memory in voice design. Basically, contextually, you have to be very efficient that no particular sentence go out of the meaning. They should constructed in such a way that they fulfill the request, the demand of the user, and serve the ultimate goal or the service you're providing. And the memory in voice design basically is that if a user needs to go back to a particular point, he might need to rectify or correct some of the input that he has given earlier. Then you should know how to backtrack to that particular point of your application, and that comes when your design is memory efficient. You know when the thing has happened and when the user gave the input. So with that perspective, you should be able to design in such a way that it supports a overall good context and the memory. And then it comes the usability testing, which is the most important feature, or you can say the attribute of any platform. If the users might not run into any crashes or bugs in your platform, so you need to like test each and every component of your application, that if this happens, so what exactly is a breakpoint. So you should know how to do the user testing, and you can perform this by inviting some of the initial users and then giving the access of your platform to them, and then you can get the feedback from them. So this is kind of a b testing you can do. And there are then multi-modal interactions. When you have more than one environment involved, then you can definitely go for multi-modal interactions, in which you can design your application in such a way that it supports different environments or context. So that is something that you can uh, implement in your design. And the seventh important point is the accessibility and safety feature. Basically, all the features, all the things that you're designing, they should be accessible to every type and kind of user. Because if any user finds your application to be not much accessible, or the supporting language is different, so they might be not able to discover your product or use your product, and you may lose some of your users. So to prevent that particular thing, you should make your design in such a way that it is accessible and it is scalable. And regarding the safety purpose, it is just more focused on privacy of the users. So you should not take much of their data. If you're like it if it is necessary, then you should design your application in such a way that it stores all the information in a secure environment, and that you could implement using the cloud services. So these are some of the skills that you might require if you are going in this particular technology, right? And what companies usually hire? So these are some of the companies, famous companies, I would say, that usually hires the speech engineers and voice designers. So Haptic is one of the company which is founded in India. Now it is uh, owned by Reliance. So they usually need the voice developers for their products. They develop chatbots and voice bots. And Alexa is very famous. You all know. It is again the particular for those who are skilled in Alexa designing and development. So this is more in the developing part. So if you need, you should know one of any programming languages, right? And they usually hire many designers for their shopping application. And because in all of their applications, like the music, the Prime Music, the Prime Video, and the shopping app, they have Alexa inbuilt in them. So you like uh, can get a job in that, in any of the team. So that you have to check yourself. And the next is the Google Assistant. They also hire the speech engineers, but it is more of a research based job that they offer. And then is Samsung's Bixby. They also hire voice designers for their products, and they are very active. But again, like most of their part is focused on research in the natural language processing. So you can just go to the website and learn more about it. And the next is the Introcom that develops chatbots and voice bots. Again, it is uh, similar to Haptic, and they have both the product side and the research side. So you can accordingly, like whatever your interest is, you can go and grab any of the job. So you can check these out on the internet. These are some of the usual companies, and there are numerous startups in India also and in like foreign countries that hire particularly for this voice technology. So you can just go on their websites, and if you really want to make a domain in this voice technology, you should definitely apply, because this is something which is upcoming in the market. This is really fresh, and by fresh I mean that this market is really increasing and emerging both in both like sectors, like in research also and in development part. So this was about it. And next, basically, the I just wanted to discuss like what exactly is the overview of the in of the career in voice technology, because many people are not aware, and they usually they just think that it requires programming and they should be developers by their profession, but it is not necessary. You could do any user interface or UX course, and with the specialization in voice you can easily grab one of the job. And as Arthur C. Clarke said, that any sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic. So voice technology is not different from magic. This has really helped many businesses and companies. And in the emerging sector, I hope that this will only increase like from years to years. So this is something which is beneficial for most of the developers that are currently working in different domains. So if you want to switch to voice technology, you can easily do that by learning the skills, and you can easily apply for one of the jobs. So this was it for today's session. And today's session was more of a short, because I just wanted to discuss about the different careers that are available, right? So I hope that you enjoyed this session. And this was the end of the current the wit.ai series. And one more thing, I definitely would like to like motivate every participant who has attended this session to develop any project in wit.ai. And you can post in the developer circles group, so that you are able to showcase what you have developed, because that will give you like the the hands-on what you have learned in this series. So I have already created like a Kickstart project for you. You will be able to find in the developer circles group in the coming days, right? So this was all about it. Thank you for your time, and I hope you enjoyed the session.